What's happening,
What's
everybody?
what's going on?
What's up, my man? Benton, what's good, man?
It's all happening.
It's going down tonight. We got 50 people already right off the bat, man. That's more people than view Bokura's videos in an entire week.
Who?
Exactly. That's funny, dude. You want to, you got any new podcasts you want to plug or anything first?
Yeah, I managed to drop another episode, or a new episode rather, over at nightmaredystopia.com if anyone is so inclined.
Bam.
Check me out over there. It's entitled Hug 'em All. That's the new hobo code, hug.
Hug, what does
It
that
has
mean?
I don't know if I want to say it on here, to be honest with you.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. The
Yeah.
Metallica, the play on the Metallica.
There you go.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
it's
I
gonna
do
come
like
to that.
DLive. Well, is it?
I mean, eventually, it's gonna have to, man.
One would hope. Or I would hope.
It will never stop. It's just bullying, so it will never stop
Yes.
until that happens. So as long as people are okay, and probably what we'll talk about a lot tonight is the psychological ramifications of how they've got people to this point. Like, I do want to get into the trannies in sports because I think that's something there. But did you see the one EBT and I did about the metaverse?
About the first hour 15 of that. Yes, sir.
That's all you
Excellent
needed.
job, by the way.
What did you think of Matt's top 20s?
The thing he seems to harp on is that it seemed like he said the entire purpose of the fake reality is to generate fear from us. But then he also actually had made some notes on that. I might need to go back and look at my notes real quick. Hang on just a second.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Shout out to everyone that's here. We're already up to
Yeah,
almost 60 people.
that's awesome.
Tell your friends, man.
Oh yeah, not the fear, the anger. He seems to be saying that that's the purpose of what he refers to as the fake reality, is to make us angry. But then he seems to imply that that means that just don't become angry, and then that somehow defeats what's being done to us. Which I think it kind of ties in with the whole MLK Gandhi idea that we're supposed to be nonviolent and just let the enemy have everything. Let the enemy have our children. Let the enemy just take over everything. But don't be angry about it, because that's what the demonic forces or whatever feed on, is anger. And I just think that's just wrong-headed philosophy, personally.
Why? He asked for it. He asked to be challenged on his ideas. So again, it's not like we're picking on him or anything.
And I think I might have been the first to go in on him a little bit back in the day on my podcast,
He
if
says
anybody
he says
remembers
he's
that.
never been challenged.
Well, I made a podcast that at least some people listened to
Yeah.
probably over a year ago, where
And
I
I
played his
remember,
audio.
yeah, and I remember you called it half baked nonsense.
Yeah, half-baked nonsense. And I did a better one before that, but I got too angry and was yelling too much, so I never published it.
Does that happen often? I've heard you say that a couple times.
It happens sometimes. It depends on where I am. Like in my motel, I can't really just get mad and start yelling.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I'm in the truck, or I think I was in a motel where I wasn't going to disturb anybody at that time. Yeah, sometimes I get agitated. Kind of back to this idea that
Yeah.
Matt seems to heavily imply we're not supposed to ever get angry. It's like, I just don't see that. I'm a human being. I'm supposed to be upset when upsetting things occur.
Absolutely. David Pryor in the chat says Jesus didn't lay down, he called them out and cast out demons.
Absolutely, yeah. And some of the audience, I think, even on my podcast, maybe they don't like it when I get a little too preachy, but that stuff's real to me. I mean, I've experienced it. the spiritual side. And I find I can only really speak about it in Christian, so-called Christian terms, just because of where I grew up, and that's the prevailing culture. But it's concepts that I was given, from birth, essentially. The whole God, Satan, Jesus
Yeah, and
deal.
somebody in the chat just said what I was about to say before they even said it, but that he seems to have what would be more closer, in my opinion, to like a Buddhist philosophy, and that you're here. The reason you're here is to suffer, and then you're just supposed to what take it. And like he says, if they kick down your door and jab you, you win.
I don't see how that's a win.
It couldn't be further. It couldn't be a bigger L, in my opinion, than just let them just walk all over you. And that's what you said. Hug them all. I mean, if you don't do that, uh, it will never ever stop. It's just bullying. You gotta punch the bully in the mouth.
Oh, amen. And it's one thing for adults to allow themselves to get pushed around, and I've done things as far as the mask and all of that I didn't really want to do. But now we're in the phase where if we don't protect these kids, we're going to have to answer for that, I believe. I mean, that's the thing. It's one thing for adults to engage in a bunch of nonsense, but look what's being done to these kids, man. Actually, all throughout the pandemic, just the mask alone, has to have a huge impact on the children, I would imagine.
Well, yeah, especially when you're a kid, like I think about the conditions that I grew up in, and like the household, and the just without getting too far into it, the things that were happening. And to me that was normal because I was a kid, you know what I mean? And I didn't really realize until I didn't grow up in the best neighborhood. So then we did end up moving when I was maybe like 16 to a better neighborhood, and there was like I got a job there and met different friends, and that's when I realized like wow, like I guess most people don't live the way I lived. Like,
Oh,
so
you mean just like
just
socioeconomically or what?
just a lot, just the like lifestyle of home. And I don't want to get too far into it, but I mean, just to see, and then also like financially, even that too, like to be kids my age getting like brand new cars when they're like 16, and then they would like smash the car, and their dad would just buy them a new car or something. I'm like, dude, I had to save like for 5 months to save $500 to buy a huge piece of shit. Excuse my language.
Yeah.
I keep saying I'm trying to work on it. I'm just spewing them out. I'm sorry. I'm trying.
Yeah, I know how it goes.
But yeah, so now take it back to these kids today, where they just grow up in a mask. And let me see if I can pull up that meme in time where you see them. They were doing the zombie walk. You ever see that one?
Yes.
And they got these kids. Yeah, right here doing the. This is in Minnesota actually, and they got kids like standing like this to help practice social distancing. Not to these kids, this is normal. This is all they know. And they're going to grow up, and all of these kids are going to grow up in this environment, and this is just going to be how it is because they don't know any better. So the real danger is not necessarily right now, but in another generation, when these kids are in the workforce and you're everything like that. That's when it's going to be real bad.